It's probably A minor.
The biggest waste of my goddamn. Yo, I can't fake it. I can't fake it. That was ass. I can't fake it. I can't fake it. I actually can't fake it. That was so ass.
Yo, Drake, my brother, I think you're not reading the room here. You just went through one of the most horrifying rap battles of life. I do kind of look at Drake like, bad timing again.
Now when it comes to drag, Drake just got stripped down completely, exposed as one of the fakest friends in the whole game. The mask is gone, and people are blasting him as the kind of dude you'd never want riding with you. And this isn't the usual suspects like Joe Budden or Kendrick Lamar, where fans could brush it off as bias. This time, the smoke is undeniable because it's coming straight from Young Thug, and the target was Drake. Here's the crazy part. Through all of Thug's leaked jail calls, one thing stood out. He never once threw shade at Metro Boomin. Not a single word. The loyalty was airtight. But when it came to Drake, the tone flipped instantly.
And it's on Scorpion.
What's that? Wait, is that an album name?
Yeah, it's my name. It's my album.
Because album names, I'm not a name guy.
Okay, whatever, it's a song.
So it's an older, right? Because it's an older album.
Yeah.
What color is the album Scorpion? What color is it?
Black
and gray. Man, I'm gonna make a fool of myself. Black and gray. It's headlines.
Jade is
Close.
In a 27-minute call where Thug broke down the roots of the Kendrick versus Drake beef and the We Don't Trust You album with Metro and Future, the truth poured out heavy. He flat out called Drake stupid for the things he said and the weak moves he made. That's not gossip. This is coming from someone who was inside Drake's circle, and the damage is brutal. If Young Thug, while drowning in his own legal chaos, still takes time to clown Drake, it shows just how deep that betrayal runs. Once the industry and fans fully process this, Drake's image could collapse faster than anybody thought possible. The dominoes are already tipping, and the backlash is only heating up. And the chaos, it's spiraling out of control. After the explosive reaction to ICEMAN Episode 3, the so-called White Man album has been scrapped. Insiders say it's not dropping anytime soon, maybe never. The fallout is only getting nastier, especially with those leaked Thug phone calls painting Drake like a fool and exposing details that could stain his name forever. Fans are already turning their backs, and now it looks like Drake's only option is to duck and run from the fire coming his way.
Here's the name of the Aubrey album, White Man? For real? Damn, Champagne Poppy, they say them songs that you just streamed off your new project, White Man, say that shit ain't dope. The comments crazy. And then Kai Cenat, shout out to Kai Cenat, he kept it real. They said that Kai said that shit was ass.
Meanwhile, Iceman himself is crumbling in real time, melting down right under the spotlight. Episode 3 wasn't just a flop, it's being branded a straight-up disaster. This is the kind of mistake that locks an artist into a permanent downfall, and right now, Drake is living a nightmare he can't escape. He's catching heat from every direction, and there's no way out. Why? Because every release he's tried to push lately only makes the truth louder. Drake is slipping bad. And with this damning info spreading through the industry, both insiders and fans are realizing the same thing. Drake has never looked weaker than he does right now. The aura gone, the buzz gone. The walls are closing in, and what's coming next looks even uglier. Let's break it down. In one of those leaked calls, Young Thug was being put up on all the behind-the-scenes drama between Drake and Metro Boomin. From the sound of it, this was back in 2022, right before her loss dropped, and just months before Metro's Heroes and Villains release. The track at the center of it all? Trance, that's right, the same record that had Drake scrambling to lock down a feature. Apparently, he was begging last minute for clearance from Metro so he could secure a collab with Young Thug and Travis Scott for his album. But when Thug found out about Drake's desperate moves, he wasn't impressed. He was disgusted. The reaction was raw, like Thug couldn't believe Drake was really out here moving this sloppy. He didn't hold back either. He straight up called Drake stupid. And when you hear the frustration in his voice, almost shocked by the whole thing, it explains exactly why this beef spiraled the way it did. To Thug, Drake's choices weren't just bad. They were some of the worst missteps hip-hop's seen in years. What really stung was Thug's breakdown of Drake's mindset. He said, I don't know how anyone can speak to him about music right now. Your mom is gone. She ain't never coming back. He's not in the right space, and you going to tell Drake I don't like that. I ain't clearing it. Then came the coldest truth. Thug said instead of moving with wisdom, Drake would say wild things on the phone, then come crawling back 2 or 3 weeks later begging, "Hey, let me get the song." That call made one thing crystal clear. Young Thug was riding with Metro every step of the way. Thug even said that if he wasn't locked down, he'd be standing right next to Metro, holding him down through the storm. That kind of loyalty only made Drake look weaker, exposed as a man forever chasing respect he could never secure. With everything now dragged into the light, we're seeing Drake for exactly who he is, a man with no empathy, no compassion, and zero humanity. When it comes to something as devastating as losing a mother, the way Drake is being talked about says it all. This isn't just bad press, it's a character flaw exposed for the entire world to see. And honestly, if you're aligned with someone who shows that level of coldness, what does that say about you? No real friend, no real man would ever treat a situation this heavy with so little care or support. The truth is staring us down. Drake is not like us. He's proving to be the type of person you'd never want in your circle, and that reality is hitting harder than ever. What makes it even more brutal is who pulled the curtain back, Young Thug. A man that countless rappers once leaned on as a voice of reason is the one putting this all on the table. And that gives the whole situation undeniable weight, because if someone as close to the culture as Thug says it's real, then it's real. This is humiliation for Drake on every level. Joe Budden tried to warn people before and got brushed off, but now the puzzle pieces finally fit. Drake cared more about chasing beats than respecting someone's personal loss, and with Thug stamping this as 100% fact, there's no walking it back. This is the kind of stain that never washes away. And while Thug has his own battles playing out, the way he still stood firm beside Metro only adds to the blow. Because once upon a time, all of these guys were creating music together. Now Drake stands alone, isolated, exposed, and looking weaker than ever in front of the entire industry. With all of this out in the open, it's no shock that rappers are keeping their distance. Drake's not just being painted as a bad friend anymore. He's being exposed as someone nobody even wants to share a studio with. Unless you're starving for clout, why would anyone risk their reputation by working with Drake right now? The industry already stamped him as toxic. Just look at the circle around Metro. Young Thug, Future, Travis Scott. These guys are sticking together, locking in with Metro because they know where the real value lives. Metro isn't just a producer, he's a brother, a leader, and the heartbeat of the culture. Meanwhile, Drake, he's looking more and more like dead weight. And here's the ugly truth. While Metro's camp is building straight-up classics, Drake is behind the scenes scrambling, begging for beats, chasing collabs, and desperately trying to piece together something that might stick. But all that hustling is blowing up in his face. The walls are closing in, and whatever album he thought he had left is about to collapse in front of the whole world. Even Rick Ross couldn't resist piling on, throwing shade with that white man jab. And now the insult is catching fire online. Put it all together, and what we're seeing is one of the biggest disasters of Drake's career, maybe even bigger than the Kendrick beef. This moment right here could go down as the breaking point, the day fans, peers, and the culture finally stop taking Drake seriously. So what do you think? Are we watching the official downfall of Drake? Or can he somehow crawl his way back? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, share this story, and don't forget to subscribe because you do not want to miss the next bombshell. This is rock bottom, and for Drake, maybe the worst outcome he could imagine. Because now, after serving fans that hour-and-a-half snooze fest called Ice Spice Man, reality has set in. It wasn't just bad, it was boring. So boring that people were literally falling asleep trying to sit through it. And here's the killer, the public isn't even wasting energy clowning him anymore. Before, at least the memes and trolling kept his name buzzing. But now, silence. No laughs, no debates, just people walking away. And for someone like Drake, who's been moving more like an influencer than a real artist for years, that's a death sentence. His whole game has always depended on attention, even if it was negative. Without that spotlight, he's nothing. Right now, the demand for Drake's name has never been lower. His so-called big music moments get roasted for a day, then forgotten like they never even happened. Fans already clowned the snippets from his latest drops and then instantly moved on to the next wave without hesitation. That's the brutal truth. If Drake dared to drop another lead single or album right now, the numbers would be tragic. Forget triple platinum. People are already joking that his sales will go triple wood. And the Pinocchio comparisons? They're everywhere. Just like that wooden puppet, Drake's entire rollout feels stiff, lifeless, and fake. And if you're wondering why he didn't dare release anything fresh beyond a recycled part 2 of a track from his last album on ICEMAN Episode 3, the answer is simple. He knows it would flop. The whole rollout was supposed to build a universe, expand the hype, and set the stage for another massive album. Instead, it's proof that Drake's universe is shrinking fast. The so-called Iceman is melting right in front of the world with no way to freeze the damage. Let's keep it real. Drake knows he's in deep trouble right now, because if he drops anything major at this point, the flop would be so brutal, it would make his last flop look like a chart-topping win in comparison. That's how low the bar has fallen, and the industry is circling like vultures, waiting for him to make the next mistake. Here's the harsh truth. Whether you're a hardcore Drake stan or one of his loudest haters, you can't deny what's happening. This so-called Iceman project has been nothing but a mess. Mid piled on top of mid, filler stacked on filler, weird Pinocchio fantasies, and songs that all sound like copy and paste clones of each other. The creativity is gone, the spark is gone, and people are tired of pretending otherwise. And Drake's response? It's only making things worse. Instead of owning the flop, he keeps dragging things out, pushing the album further and further back. Honestly, don't be shocked if this record never even drops, because with how badly everything's been received so far, releasing it now would only lock in the lowest point of his entire career. And I'm not just talking about the music quality either. Let's keep it real, Drake's numbers have been weak too, and for him, numbers are everything. He doesn't move like an artist chasing legacy. He moves like an influencer chasing attention. Streams, charts, headlines. That's all he's ever cared about. But when the attention fades, the power fades right along with it. And right now, that power is slipping through his hands faster than ever. Dropping Iceman right now would be the single worst move Drake could make. Stack it up against Honestly, Nevermind, a project fans already dragged, and this whole situation looks even uglier. At least back then, people tuned in after nearly 2 years without an album. Curiosity brought them in, just to hear what Drake was cooking. The reception wasn't great, but at least it sparked some noise. Now, the tracks tied to Iceman have been nothing but mid, and nobody even cares enough to hate. The rollout has been so weak that even a flop like Honestly, Nevermind suddenly looks stronger, because at least people gave it a shot. That's how far Drake has fallen. His old flops are outshining his brand new big project. And let's be honest, the reason he slid out that little part 2 track instead of dropping something fresh is clear. He's desperately trying to crawl back to his last album era. Why? Because that era is still carrying more weight than Iceman ever could. If you can't see that, then you're living in the same fantasy world as Drake himself. Even Drake knows how bad it looks. The man is spiraling, trying to figure out how to salvage a rollout that's collapsing in real time. But the truth is brutal. If he pushes forward with Iceman, his reputation will only sink lower faster and harder. The more he forces it, the nastier the crash will be. And when you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, it's crystal clear. Iceman isn't dropping anytime soon. Just check the release calendar. The industry is stacked with heavy hitters lining up their drops in the coming weeks. If Drake dares to compete right now, he's finished. And deep down, he knows it. Industry whispers are already spelling out one brutal truth. If Drake dares to drop Iceman now, he's setting himself up for the biggest meltdown of his career. Not just a flop for Drake, but one of the ugliest failures of the entire year. And the timing couldn't be worse. This next month is stacked. On September 19th, Cardi B is finally unleashing her long-awaited sophomore album, and Atlantic Records is going all in. We're talking massive marketing campaigns, physical releases flooding stores, and an energy that feels like a cultural takeover. Cardi's project isn't just an album, it's a moment, and there's no way Drake can compete with that machine. And if that wasn't already enough pressure, just a week later, Doja Cat is set to drop her brand new record on September 26th. That means Drake would be trapped right in the middle, squeezed between two massive forces, both with momentum, hype, and serious label money pushing them to the top. Even if you don't like Cardi or Doja, you can't deny their impact. These drops are about to own the headlines, dominate the playlists, and snatch up the charts for weeks. And here's the kicker. Even if Cardi's album turns out mid, the rollout is so huge it's guaranteed to move numbers and shake the culture. Compare that to Drake's recycled copy and paste tracks, and it's obvious Iceman doesn't stand a chance. We're not talking about underperforming, we're talking about Drake getting crushed beyond recognition. Look at the calendar and his worst nightmare comes into focus. The stage is set, and if he steps into this moment with Iceman, it could be the final nail in the coffin of his so-called dominance. No matter how big Drake thinks he is, there's no surviving a head-to-head like this. And just when you think it can't get worse, here comes the knockout punch. Taylor Swift's mega drop on October 3rd. This isn't just another album rollout. This is an industry-level takeover. The entire machine is lining up behind her. Streaming platforms, the NFL, corporate sponsors, you name it, they're in. Millions of vinyls, millions of CDs already pressed and ready. This is the kind of release that shatters records, sets new milestones, and reshapes the charts for months. Taylor's not just dropping an album, she's delivering a cultural juggernaut, the kind of event labels dream about. There was a time when Drake had the guts to go head-to-head with Taylor's release cycle, but those days are long gone. He doesn't have the leverage, he doesn't have the backing, and most importantly, he doesn't have the numbers anymore. Let's be real, even if Drake waits a month after Taylor, the damage will still be done. Her numbers would dwarf his so badly he'd look like an underground act begging for scraps in comparison. And once November slows down and December turns quiet, the truth will be impossible to hide. Drake has no window left, no spin to pull, and no way to dodge humiliating himself with Iceman. So now the question is simple. Do you think Drake is finished for good, or can he somehow pull off one last comeback against impossible odds? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, share this video everywhere, and don't forget to subscribe, because the next bombshell could hit any second, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. At this point, Drake's only real option is to cancel Iceman and bury it as far back as possible. Let's be real. The first album he dropped this year, the one fans were actually more hyped for, already tanked with the lowest numbers of his entire career. That should have been the warning shot. But now, he's out of options, out of tricks, and running on fumes. And honestly, none of this downfall is even shocking anymore. Drake played himself by staying outside nonstop for almost 500 days straight, forcing quick microwave comebacks and never once letting people miss him. The inevitable happened. Oversaturation killed the mystique. Fans are sick of the antics, the endless gimmicks, and the desperate clout grabs, and now the price has come due. What makes it worse is how Iceman has turned into one of the worst album rollouts in recent memory. Instead of building hype, it drained it. Instead of creating momentum, it exposed him. Whatever red button Drake thought he had left to push has fizzled out, leaving nothing but silence. For the first time in his entire career, Drake looks powerless. And that's exactly why Iceman has quietly become the most important album of his whole legacy. It's not just another drop. It's the one that decides whether Drake still matters in this industry or if he gets left behind completely. And behind the scenes, you can bet his camp is panicking because nothing they've tried has worked. Every move Drake's made has backfired, and now he's staring down the cold reality that he's got to go back to the drawing board. But here's the problem. Drake doesn't reinvent, he copies. He chases trends, fakes clout, and recycles whatever's already hot. Unless he pulls off some miracle blueprint, all he's really doing is stalling the inevitable. Because let's be honest, Drake isn't leading the culture anymore, he's begging to keep up. The Iceman streams made one thing brutally clear. This project is doomed no matter how you spin it. The album is destined to flop, and it's dragging Drake down right along with it. At this point, he's only got two choices. Either drop the record and watch it bomb in real time, or run from it and delay forever. And truthfully, both paths lead straight to humiliation, and the decision he's leaning toward is already obvious. Even by Drake's own delusional standards, it speaks volumes. Instead of facing the music, we keep seeing the same recycled selfies, the duck face antics, and desperate distractions, while the rest of the industry stacks major releases and dominates Q4 without him. Meanwhile, other artists are out here celebrating milestones, smashing charts, and securing their legacies. And Drake, he's hiding because he knows if he drops now, the numbers will expose him for what he's become. This isn't just one bad moment. It's shaping up to be one of the worst downfalls, not just in rap, but maybe in music history. Maybe even in entertainment as a whole. This isn't just a fall off, it's history being written in real time. And when you connect all the dots, it's devastating. From the flop Iceman rollout, to Young Thug calling him out, to the fans turning their backs, the story is complete. Drake's empire is collapsing like dominoes. And now we're watching the meltdown hit its final stage in real time. And let's be real, why would anybody feel bad for Drake at this point? After everything that's come out, the disrespect, the failed rollouts, the exposed phone calls, this man brought it all on himself. His downfall isn't just predictable, it feels deserved. Now, if you made it this far into the video, I've got some exciting news. We've officially launched channel memberships. That means you can unlock exclusive videos, join private communities, and even get your name featured at the end of every upload as an executive producer. If you want to be part of the inner circle and directly support the channel, hit that join button or click the links down below. It helps keep this content going strong. And before you bounce, don't forget what sparked all of this. When Iceman Episode 3 completely destroyed what was left of Drake's fan base and forced him to face the reality of canceling the album. That moment set the stage for everything you just watched unfold. So make sure to smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, share this video with your people, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the next bombshell. Trust me, the next twist is coming fast and you'll want to be here when it breaks. See you in the next video.